Let's talk about the three bucket approach and what's changed in retirement planning. In the past, we've always used our assets and our income to fund a safe and secure retirement because we want to make sure you don't run out of money. Now, for many people, the house is also a really large source of their wealth. Traditionally, we did not use the house in retirement planning. What we did was we funded retirement with the assets and the income we had in the two buckets on the left. The house, even though it might have been a large source of wealth for somebody, typically was better off left to the side. And it's because in the past, we didn't have some of the challenges we have today in retirement. We didn't have to worry about living a really long time. We didn't have to worry about the market being as volatile as it is, moving up and down as much as it does. And we had a whole lot less income insecurity. And what I mean by that is we had things like pensions and guaranteed sources of income that really helped us see through retirement. Today, it's different. So when we look at retirement planning today, yes, we still fund retirement with our assets. And when I say assets, I mean things like our IRAs and our investments, our mutual funds, and even our checking and savings accounts. Additionally, we have income streams today still. For some people, they still have pensions. Some people may still be working and have wages. And for most of us, we will have Social Security. And those are used to fund retirement. But with these additional challenges, we also need to start looking at the house as a source of retirement funding because we don't know if what we have in our assets and our income buckets is enough. But there's a problem here. The house, a lot of times, it looks a whole lot more like a jail cell than it does a bucket of wealth. We can't just draw wealth from the house easily. And this is because there's no easy way to access wealth in the house traditionally. Add to that, for a lot of us, we also may be very well carrying a mortgage payment. Nearly 1 out of 2 people do, which means we take money from our assets and our income buckets and we move it into that housing bucket. Well, let's take an example for a moment and walk through this and see why it's such a problem. If you have, let's say, $1,000 mortgage payment that you take from your assets or your income streams and you move it into your house, are you buying $1,000 worth of equity? That's right. The answer is probably not. Depending on how long the term of the mortgage is, you might be moving substantially less money into the house. It might only be $200 or $300 of equity you're actually buying. So even though we're moving money from the two buckets on the left to the bucket on the right, we're going from $1,000 of wealth down to $200 or $300 of wealth with that transition, and it's a problem. Now, what if? What if we could change the way this looked? What if, for example, we could go ahead and we could eliminate that existing mortgage payment? What if we did not have to draw from our assets and our income to move money into the house? Would that change the picture of retirement? And the answer is yes, of course. Furthermore, what if we could go ahead and we could remove those bars so it does not look like a jail cell anymore? How would that impact our retirement? And the answer is it would help us use this as a bucket of money that can fund our retirement. And that will help us overcome some of these new challenges that we're dealing with today. The challenges of living too long, the challenges of enhanced market volatility, and this idea of income insecurity. We can really manage to it. This is why coordinating housing wealth is so important.